Greetings, my friends, and welcome to the first episode of our new running series, The Pop Culture Breakdown with Overlord DVD. This series will report on breaking news and rumors, providing perspective and commentary on the pop culture events of the day. I am broadcasting from a newly installed section of my underground base, a division I call Section X. An earthquake opened up a series of tunnels leading to vast caverns a half-mile from my regular base, and therefore Section X is where I perform experiments too hazardous to risk conducting at my normal fortress, experiments like this very show. And so, let's begin with our top story today. Is Kathleen Kennedy staying on at Lucasfilm? Yesterday, the Twitter account @GetFandom issued a tweet that raised alarm bells throughout Star Wars fandom. The tweet in its entirety read, quote, Disney CEO responds to investor who asked if Kathleen Kennedy will be fired and replaced by Dave Filoni. We look forward to having Kathleen Kennedy running Lucasfilm for many years to come. Unfortunately for fans, Kathleen Kennedy has not been running Lucasfilm so much as running Lucasfilm into the ground headfirst in a sad and twisted attempt to smash the patriarchy for all these years. But the real question is, did Bob Chapek actually say this? And if so, what does it mean for Star Wars? Here's what I know, folks. My sources informed me last week that a big meeting to determine Kathleen Kennedy's fate was happening on March 7th. I was asked specifically not to mention this meeting because it was supposed to be a secret and this source did not want Kennedy to be alerted to it. I have not specifically heard anything about the outcome of that meeting, but if the timing of this announcement is any indication, it would appear that investors and fans lost this battle to save Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy was allegedly, according to rumors, a central figure in the firing of Gina Carano, whose massive popularity among fans absolutely destroyed Kennedy's assertions that Star Wars fans are impossible to please and that male Star Wars fans are misogynists. If Kennedy has managed to stay in power at Lucasfilm, then Star Wars is finished. There are no two ways about it. Kennedy and her tribe of woke women and wankers view Star Wars as nothing more than a platform for propaganda, not as a treasured narrative and a cultural milestone. And if that is Lucasfilm's official policy moving forward, if the kind of active sabotage inflicted on Jon Favreau in The Mandalorian via the firing of Gina Carano is allowed to continue, well, we all know the old saying, a house divided cannot stand. And if the house of cards called Lucasfilm is collapsing, fans are well advised to get the hell out now. While playing cards may be as lightweight as the Lucasfilm story group itself, can anyone say geode? Remember that even paper cuts can hurt like hell, and after the pain inflicted by The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, and everything else that Kathleen Kennedy has touched, fans shouldn't have to suffer anymore. Let me be very clear. This was a question asked by an investor, but it was not an official announcement. Until that official announcement comes, some small glimmer of hope remains, especially since Disney has been known to waffle quite a bit in the past. Remember when Iger stepped down, Chapek stepped up, and Iger stepped in and they shook it all about? They're doing the hokey pokey in Disneyland, folks, with as much deliberation and intelligence as that dance implies. But if these knuckleheads are actually happy with Kennedy, then our next headline on this show will be very clear. Disney Corporation no longer in the business of profit, and Star Wars will be finished once and for all. And now, this. After a period of relative silence, a source has emerged with some fascinating rumors about the chaos unfolding on the set of The Batman. What I'm about to tell you is information provided to me from a source I've worked with before, a source claiming to have knowledge regarding what's been happening on the set of Matt Reeves' Batman movie. But since I cannot independently verify what I'm about to tell you, please consider this to be unverified rumor and take it with a grain of salt. My source claims that the Batman production has once again degenerated into one big clusterfuck, as Pattinson has become an even bigger pain in the ass than he was at the beginning of the shoot. About a week ago, I got a notification from my Hollywood spies that Pattinson had allegedly been busted having sex with the woman playing Catwoman on the hood of the Batmobile, and that video footage of the reckless encounter exists. While I have not seen this footage and can verify none of this, my source further claims that things on the set have subsequently gotten worse. Apparently, after Carbang Gate was exposed, nothing was done to discipline Pattinson, and so, in absence of any punishment, Pattinson allegedly took that to mean he can get away with anything. This source now claims that Pattinson is all but impossible to get on the set now, and when he does show up, he's, shall we say, not in a state that's conducive to productive shooting. The production is reportedly way behind schedule, and Warner Brothers is on director Matt Reeves to get it done. The rumor further alleges there was a Zoom session between Matt Reeves and other people in the company that almost turned into a shouting match, and to make matters worse, the woman playing Catwoman is now allegedly pregnant, and as slowly as the production is advancing, producers are scared she will start to show before the filming ends. Can you imagine the spectacle of a knocked-up Catwoman cursing out Batman while as big as a house? If this is true, this film is starting to look less like Batman and more like an episode of Maury Povich. Can't you just see it?
Batman, you are the father! Hell nah, Murray. Hell nah. I am the knight. Now excuse me while I slip into the shadows. When does the tramp steamer set out for Rio? Gotta go, Murray. Gotta go fast.
When asked if it was Pattinson that put the baby in there, the source replied, quote, "I don't know for sure, but she supposedly claims it's his. It seems they got along before the car," unquote. Warner Brothers is supposedly sending some representatives to the Batman to try and get this situation under control if they can. At this point, there is too much money in this to bail on Pattinson, as the cost of digitally making Pattinson in the Batsuit has already put this movie way over budget. And now, more bad news on the Star Wars front. In more breaking news from Twitter, book publisher Del Rey sent out this disappointing tweet yesterday. Quote, "Due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing the Mandalorian original novel at this time, as the story continues to unfold on screen. We love working with Adam Christopher and are already working with him on a different book. We're excited to share details with you in the future," unquote. For more on this story, let's go to our senior Eldritch correspondent, Harvey Cthulhu. Harvey, can you unwrap this story for us?
I can indeed, O future ruler of Earth. Just as Jon Favreau has been thrown for a loop by the recent firing of Gina Carano, it's reasonable to assume that Cara Dune has some kind of pivotal role in that novel, and rather than extensively revise it, I would surmise that Del Rey decided to cancel the project entirely.
And given the rise of the Cancel Disney Plus hashtag on Twitter, the rumored drop in the number of subscribers on Disney Plus, the plummeting toy sales, and now the cancellation of an original Mandalorian Star Wars novel, what does this say about Kathleen Kennedy's stewardship of Star Wars?
It says it sucks, dude. That's the only conclusion we can reach. The Mandalorian was the only success Disney has really had with fans since the hypnosis of The Force Awakens, and now they've managed to fuck that up by firing Gina Carano. Look for the collapse of merchandising opportunities as Kennedy continues her reign of destruction at Lucasfilm. This is only the beginning. Back to you, Chet.
Doomcock, not Chet.
Whatever, Chet. Congratulations on the pop culture breakdown, and to all the folks out there in the audience, once Doomcock pushes the button to free me from my extra-dimensional prison, you will all perish in flames. Chet?
Thank you, Harvey. Yet more bad news on the Star Wars front. Watch this space for further developments in the future. And that wraps up our first episode of the Pop Culture Breakdown. This series will be daily or semi-daily, depending on what's going on, and will feature reviews, interviews, breaking news, and rumors. So please subscribe to this channel. You won't want to miss out. Do you know of a news story I need to cover? Do you have a tip you'd like to share, or would you be interested in contributing to the show? Drop me an email at pcbwithdvd@gmail.com and send me news alerts, proposals, and feedback there. We may institute a Letters to the Editor segment on this show as well. Really, the possibilities of this broadcast are wide open. From Section X Studios at the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.